Since Diego Maradona scored that wonderful solo effort against England at the 1986 World Cup, ranking the best finishes from subsequent editions became a thing. For the sake of this video, we'll be taking a look at the best World Cup goals from 2002 to 2022. 2002. Let's start with Dario Rodriguez's beauty at the Korea-Japan World Cup in 2002. Interestingly, Rodriguez only scored 3 goals throughout his international career with Uruguay, but his strike against Denmark has to be the best of them all. The left-back was exceptional on the day for his country, and he capped off his performance with a well-taken volley that gave his team a glimmer of hope. Before Rodriguez turned up, Uruguay were a goal down, thanks to Jon Dahl Tomasson's half-time strike, but it didn't take long after the restart for the Uruguayan defender to draw his team level. The ball fell for Rodriguez at the edge of the 18-yard box, and without thinking about it twice, he hit the ball as hard as he could, and what an effort it was. Unfortunately, his strike couldn't inspire Uruguay to go for the win, even though they had all the momentum. Tomasson would score a second goal that gave Denmark a 2-1 win. It was the first match of the group, and that loss would be the catalyst that sent Uruguay crashing out of the group stages, as they only managed 2 more points from their remaining 2 matches. Nonetheless, Rodriguez's strike could serve as some consolation, as it was nominated as one of the best goals of the tournament. Speaking of left-backs and thunderous strikes, there's none better in the business than Roberto Carlos. Going into the 2002 World Cup, the Brazilian fullback had already built a reputation for shooting missiles from long range. His left foot was so powerful that it was more advisable for defenders to get out of the way rather than attempt to block the shot. The Chinese got to witness firsthand the power that Carlos packed in his strikes, as he scored one of the best goals of the 2002 World Cup. The Real Madrid man got the ball, and knowing exactly where the post was, unleashed an absolute cracker that no keeper in the world could stop. Carlos's goal against China was the best out of the 4 goals Brazil scored in their 4-0 win against the Asian side. 2006. Moving on to 2006, Torsten Frings gave the home fans something to smile about when he gave his side a 4-2 win over Costa Rica in the first game of the tournament. Philipp Lahm gave the Germans a lead with an equally brilliant strike that curled past the Costa Rican keeper. This was followed up with 2 more goals from Miroslav Klose and 2 strikes from Costa Rica's Paulo Wanchope to keep the score at 3-2 in favour of Germany. However, the scoreline was too close for comfort, and Germany, who were the hosts, needed an insurance goal to secure maximum points. And with just 3 minutes remaining, Frings fired home a rocket from distance that beat Jose Porras hands down. Tomáš Rosický also scored one of the most memorable goals of the tournament when the Czech Republic squared off against the USA. The midfielder, known as the Little Mozart, ran the midfield with Pavel Nedved to give their country a comfortable 3-0 win against the Americans. Rosický scored twice, but it was his second goal that got the crowd on their feet. Nedved played a cross into the area, which was then headed down by Rosický. He took 2 beautiful touches to bring the ball under control before pulling the trigger. USA's Casey Keller had no chance. 2010. Speaking of chances, who can forget how Luis Suarez denied Ghana the chance to become the first African nation to reach a World Cup semi-final when he kept the ball out with his hands? That was certainly the main talking point of his 2010 World Cup. However, he had another memorable moment a game before that when he scored an absolute beauty against South Korea. Being the dribbler that he is, Suarez skillfully cut around 2 defenders before curling the ball around the Korean goalkeeper to plant the ball at the back of the net. His teammate, Diego Forlan, also recorded one of the best goals of the tournament against Germany. Forlan was brilliant all through, and his performances earned him the Player of the Tournament award. Certainly, his beautifully taken goal against the Germans made him the favourite for the award, as he smashed a volley off the ground, which bounced over his marker and over the goal line. It's quite unfortunate that such a wonderful goal was scored in a match as unimportant as a 3rd place playoff. That should have been a World Cup winning moment. 2014. Another World Cup goal worthy of being a trophy winner came in 2014, when Arjen Robben put one past Spain that helped the Netherlands embarrass the defending champions. At first, the situation didn't seem dangerous in any way. Daley Blind got hold of the ball on the left, and that was when Robben made a quick dash into space. He received the pass on the edge of the box with the sweetest touch you will ever see, slipped past Gerard Piqué, resisted Sergio Ramos's pressure, and tucked the ball home. Sure, there was a slight deflection on Robben's strike, but it takes nothing away from the beauty of the Dutchman's wonder goal. Coincidentally, the same match produced another awesome 2010 World Cup goal, but this time it was Robin van Persie that executed the wonder strike. Actually, it was a header, and it was one of the best you will ever see, not just in a FIFA World Cup, but in any football tournament. Daley Blind was involved in the build-up, as he flung a diagonal ball from the midfield to find Van Persie, who was unmarked at the edge of the box. Now, everyone thought the ex-Arsenal man would control the ball with his feet before executing the finish. But Van Persie had other ideas. A more complicated one than that, as he decided to knock a headed lob over the Spanish keeper who was off his line. What a beautiful finish it was, as the ball flew delicately and precisely over the Spanish number one to leave everyone in awe. Iker Casillas couldn't believe it, and neither could the great Pele, who was full of praise for Van Persie's audacious effort. The goal was so popular that it inspired a bunch of social media memes, a flipbook animation, graffiti art, and even a limited edition coin. Even Van Persie said, "I scored innumerable headers, some I'm very proud of, but I never scored one close to being that good." 2018. The next World Cup came in 2018, and it was France's year, as they smashed all opposition to lift the most valuable trophy in football. One man who was instrumental to their success was the 19-year-old Kylian Mbappe. He was on fire all through the tournament, finishing as top scorer and winning the MVP award. One goal that stood him out from the pack was his effort in France's 4-3 win against Argentina. It was Mbappe's second goal of the match, and it was one cleverly worked by Antoine Griezmann, who was also a key player for France in the tournament. A brilliant run, intelligent positioning, and a sublime finish by the young lad sent Lionel Messi and his countrymen packing. Di Maria's goal is up next, and by scoring such an awesome effort against Argentina, the winger proved once again that you could count on him for the big games. His country were a goal down in the round of 16, and they were in desperate need of an equaliser. That was when Di Maria found a small pocket of space in the French defence and didn't think twice about putting his boot through the ball. The strike was so clean that Hugo Lloris shouldn't have bothered trying to make the save. 2022, Kylian Mbappe pops up again, and this time it was at the 2022 World Cup that the Frenchman worked his magic. France was up against Poland, and after scoring his first, Mbappe decided to add a second, which came courtesy of a brilliant curling strike that beat the Polish keeper clean. Before pulling the trigger, Mbappe had to find the space between as many as 3 defenders. No backlift, no space, no problem. Mbappe buried it. He produced another moment of brilliance in the final against Argentina, when he hit a superb one-time volley to draw his team level and send the match into extra time. Now, if you thought Mbappe's goals at the 2022 World Cup were awesome, then you'd be equally impressed with Richarlison's strike. The Tottenham striker scored arguably the best goal of the tournament against Serbia, when he controlled a cross with a delicate flick and finished acrobatically to get the crowd all hyped up. Trust me, Richarlison's goal is one you can watch over and over again. So guys, which goals are your favourite among the ones we've discussed so far? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed watching this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.